And we're live. Welcome back to the channel. Hi, I'm Larita. If you're new here, welcome back. Welcome to our new viewers. I'm talking today about veterans benefits. I'm an attorney, but I'm not your attorney, so I want to make sure I have my disclaimer first of all that the information I provide on here is just that information. It does not establish an attorney-client relationship. What I do is try to provide actionable advice for you to use as a veteran, or if you are family member to a veteran that you find the information helpful, you can provide the information to them by hitting the share button. So if you're new here, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. It pushes it out to the wider YouTube algorithm to share it with other veterans and other people who benefit from the veterans benefits, such as you or somebody you may know. So want to get that out of the way. And then if you're also new here, you know I start off all my videos with shout outs to our veterans and let me know which branch of the military you serve. So we have the Army, the Air Force, the Navy, Coast Guard, and Marines, and Space Force. I think I got it right this time. So shout out in the comment section and just let me also know where you're watching from. I actually live stream from Houston, Texas. So let me know what part of the world you're watching from, in the United States or outside the United States. Let me know. So in today's video, I want to talk to you about a new bill that Congress passed that actually benefits veterans. And this is somewhat of good news because we've been seeing some up and downs with what they call the big, beautiful bill, right? And some things that may be beneficial to some and not beneficial for others. But this one seems to have bipartisan, bicameral support and basically help some veterans. And it's not necessarily a new concept. VA administration had come up with their own version of this, but actually had to close it earlier this year. So this is Congress's way of kind of bailing VA out and saying, we know your veterans need some assistance who are homeowners, and this is a way of doing it. In fact, I'm going to share my screen with you because I think I did a video about this last year when they first initiated the program. And I was like, I'm sharing it with our viewers saying, like, if you are a homeowner, this may be of interest to you. I'm sharing the screen right now. What you see right now is the playlist for TXC Tells All. And this is the Veterans Benefit playlist. It has 72 videos on it. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out right now. I talk about all different topics. So this is how to get your appeal decided faster, changes to VA patient care, the presumptive disabilities list, cost of living adjustment, Supreme Court cases. But I believe it was last year around May where I was talking about veterans home buyer loans and home benefits. So about a year ago, I had the new VA home allowances and new rules for VA for veterans. So if you haven't checked that out, check that out. But I'm going to share today the new actual law that Congress passed. And I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see it. And this is from the NPR website. And NPR might be one of those public media stations that may be negatively impacted by the cuts due to the big, beautiful bill, but we'll find that out soon enough. This is as of yesterday's date. Thousands of veterans get help from Congress to save their homes from foreclosure. The Senate passed a long-awaited fix for veterans designed to keep many from losing their homes after a series of stumbles by the VA left thousands of veterans on the verge of foreclosures. Members of Congress have scrambled to pass such a solution since May, when the Department of Veterans Affairs abruptly ended a Biden-era homeowner assistance program and left veterans with far worse options than most other Americans who never served. What the new fix is, it basically allows veteran homeowners who are right now behind on their payments and are in danger of foreclosure, allows them to actually put all the payments that they're behind on at the end of it, take it to the end of their loan, similar to what they did during some COVID relief things, and have them be up to date. And what it does is basically, it does extend your loan, right? Because you're basically taking those payments and putting them to the back, but basically it still allows you to stay in your home and not have foreclosure come in and say, hey, you're 5 payments behind. Those 5 payments goes to the end and they'll be due at some point when you sell the house, when you refinance, or when you think you're finished paying with your mortgage, you'll have 5 extra payments. But what it does is allow the veteran to stay in the home instead of going into foreclosure and losing precious equity and being basically perhaps homeless if they can't find another home to come in. So it says Mortgage industry executive, veterans groups, and housing advocates have been calling on Congress and the VA to come up with a replacement measure. Congress now appears to have done that in a rare show of bipartisanship. To underscore that point, the leaders on the Veterans Affairs Committee from the House and Senate released a joint statement on the passage of the bill. This bipartisan and bicameral legislation will assist veterans who are facing financial hardships and provide VA with a tool to better help veterans stay in their homes and avoid foreclosure, said the statement signed by Senators Jerry Moran of Kansas, a Republican, and Richard Blumenthal of Connecticut, a Democrat. The letter was also signed by Republican Representative Mike Bost of Illinois and Democratic Representative Mark Takano of California. The VA Home Loan Program provides one of the best benefits VA has to offer and has helped veterans and their families build home equity since its inception in 1944. If signed into law by the president, the new law will help veterans who have fallen behind their mortgages and explains what I just explained. So this is a big deal for some people who have struggled and haven't got back to where they needed to be due to COVID or other reasons. This actually helps them. So let me stop for a second. Hi, Tommy Army, Jackson, Mississippi. So you're not too far from me in Mississippi. Thanks for watching and tuning in today. So I wanted to share with you guys this information because it can help many veterans. You don't know what people are going through. And I know that if you're able to kind of push back the payments and kind of get some relief instead of saying I have to catch up. Let's say your mortgage is $1,000 a month and you're behind 5 months. That's $5,000 you would have to pay to get up to date and to avoid foreclosure. Now that $5,000 can be tacked on to the end of your loan and can buy you some more time. Now you can always, make extra payments so that it doesn't seem like that at the end when you are in a better financial situation. But it definitely takes that burden off your shoulders for those of you who are in that situation. I'm going to share my screen again with you. It says, also wanted to share that their Senate panel backs plans for $456 billion VA budget next year. And this is a big deal because I think this budget is actually bigger than several of the individual military branches budgets, right? So it shows that Congress is trying to keep their promise to veterans, those who serve. They want to take care of those who serve, right? And having a $456 billion budget shows that they're prioritizing medical care, other things, home ownership loans, the benefits that I usually talk about, disability benefits, payments, things of that nature. So Senate appropriators on Thursday advanced plans for a $456 billion budget for Veterans Affairs programs and benefits next fiscal year. And the fiscal year starts on October 1st of each year and runs through September 30th. So we have about 2 more months of the current fiscal year. And then October 1st will be the new fiscal year when this $456 billion budget will be applicable, putting it generally in line with White House and White House goals for future department spending. Unlike the House adopted last month, however, the Senate VA appropriations plan advanced out of committee with broad bipartisan support and without a bevy of controversial social issue amendments, which is good because unfortunately, sometimes in Congress, we have representatives and senators who cannot agree on things. And it kind of becomes a war of Republicans versus Democrats instead of like, this is for the benefit of the veterans. So it was good that it have received bipartisan support in regards to this is a budget that's going to benefit the veterans. Senator Susan Collins, Republican Maine and chairwoman of the Senate Appropriations Committee, praised the bill's passage as an important step forward for the federal budget process and for supporting America's veterans. House lawmakers' budget plan for the department totaled about $453 billion, but both the House and Senate drafts call for roughly about $134 billion in discretionary funding, money for new program starts and initiatives. That total is slightly less than what White House officials asked for in their budget proposal, but only about $1 billion. We're talking billions here. So when you think about that, as far as like the amount of spending, and I think that was the issue with the big, beautiful bill, the amount of spending that's done. And unfortunately, things cost money. You want to have things available to people. It costs money to do those things. So, and like I said, they want to support the veterans out there. So, Tommy, thank you for joining us today. I wanted to give you guys the update both on the congressional support for homeowners, for veteran homeowners, and also to let you know about the new fiscal year budget for veterans coming on being applicable October 1st to say that there'll be some fundings. If you haven't already checked it out and haven't applied for veterans disability benefits through the PACT Act or any other applicable thing, I suggest you go on the channel, that playlist I was showing earlier, to see what possible benefits you may be entitled to so that you don't leave any money on the table. You see $456 billion is available for the Veterans Affairs to take care of the veterans. So I just want to hop on it today. I try to do videos at least once a month and topics that are relevant to our viewers. So thank you, Tommy. And those of you who are watching the replay gang, hashtag replay gang in the comment section and let me know what you would like to see in the future. Thank you, Tommy, for watching, and we'll see you hopefully in the next video. Thanks, and have a good night and a good rest of your Thursday evening. Thank you, Tommy.